Irish Artisan Yarn podcast. I am Tara and I am the owner and hand dyer behind Irish Artisan Yarn. This is a knitting, crocheting, sewing, bit of gardening, dyeing, everything podcast, and this is a bit of behind the scenes and also me chatting to you about what I'm making, some different ideas of what you can make, and just sharing elements of my day-to-day with you. So if you don't know who Irish Artisan Yarn is, you can go back and watch the first video, which was in January, my welcome back. I have made it my commitment for 2026 to film more podcasts. And if you are new to finding this video, if you could subscribe, I'd be so grateful. And thank you so much if you're coming back to watch it again. So this video I am going to do, we'll be talking about some pattern ideas for particularly around 3 skeins. I have a yarn club which closed in January. This is a new thing that we're doing where it's a subscription for the year, but I also have yarn boxes throughout the year. So whether you have ordered the yarn club or you're thinking of ordering a yarn box, typically there will be one coming for spring, summer, different yarn boxes. We do a Christmas Eve one. We might do an autumn one this year. So this is just to give you some ideas. It's usually 3 skeins, 3 different colours in a base that you choose. And sometimes people say to me, I don't know what to make. So I thought I'd put this video together of different pattern ideas. Again, it doesn't have to be my yarn box. You could have 3 skeins at home of my yarn or other people's yarn. And this is just some ideas of what you can make. So I have my iPad here with all the different pattern ideas. I'm trying something different. So I have put them all into a bundle on Ravelry, and then I will put that bundle link below in the description, and then you can go through. Much easier than me listing them all because then you can visually see which patterns I'm talking about. I don't have samples of these patterns apart from one that has actually been made. Or no, 2, well, one's in the process of being made and one has been made, but it's just to give you some different ideas of what you can make with those 3 skeins. So we'll get started. There's a mixture of knitting and crochet, and there's a mixture of garments and accessories and blankets because it doesn't have to be limited to 3 skeins. So the idea is this is if you have 3 skeins, but also if you have a yarn club, or maybe you want to make your own, if you have a collection of yarn in your stash, which I'm sure most of you do. This is just some ideas of what you can do. So let's get started, and thank you so much for watching. The first one I am going to share with you is the shawl, which is called, I'm going to put all the photos here, the Waiting for Rain shawl. So this uses 2 skeins, but again, it was just to give you an idea of what you could do with a yarn box because you don't have to use all 3 in the same project. But this is a really beautiful shawl. It's a 4-ply fingering weight shawl, and I thought it was a really pretty pattern. And again, you can do it with 2 colours, so it doesn't have to be, it could be the same colour, which would look beautiful if you had 2 of the same, but if your skeins are different, like for example, if you've ordered our yarn box or you're a part of the yarn club, there'll be different skeins, different colours. So I thought this was really lovely because the way the pattern shows, the lace is in one colour and then the neutral is in another colour of the shawl. So that is pattern 1, and I'm going to put all the names and stuff on the screen because I'm not going to get anyone's name wrong. I find it, if you watch my first video, you'll know I'm really dyslexic, so pronouncing people's names is not my strongest point in life, but I thought I'm going to put them on the screen, much easier for you so you know what I'm talking about, but also they will be in the Ravelry bundle. And then if you are a crocheter, this is one for you. So I am making this at the minute, which I should probably actually show you, so I'm going to get that. So I'm back. I now have the sample. I should have got that before. So this is the Granny Stripe shawl, and this is a 4-ply design. It is written to use for scrap yarn, which would be lovely, but I also thought you could just do it with solid yarn. And this uses, again, you can probably do this as big as you want because the pattern says you can just keep going. So I am doing it, although I'm not sure, I'm going to do another podcast about this because I don't know if I want to keep going with it or frog it. I can't decide, so let me know what you think maybe, but anyway, this is the start of it. So this is, I'll put an image on the screen here of what the sample looks like in the pattern. So again, it is odds and ends, scrappy yarn, looks really lovely, multicoloured. I wanted to do it with some yarn I had 1 skein of hand dyed, and then I had some of the Studio IY, the that's back to front, the merino cashmere 4-ply in the colourway Mulberry, which is the purple colour, and Smoke. Now I love how it feels, really lovely pattern to do. My only thing is I feel like it's gone very geometric, which maybe is quite nice, but you can actually see the increases quite clearly on the camera there. But yeah, I don't know. But the colours are quite, maybe it's quite modern. It's gone quite geometric compared to the sample is very like stripy. Whereas I'm adding some grey stripes in here. I'm just kind of making it up as I go, but maybe I should keep going with it because it is quite a fun colour. I thought it was written not obviously with what I'm wearing. I should probably talk about what I'm wearing, which I'll do in a minute. But it's gone very geometric, sort of blocked, but it's quite fun maybe for crochet. So anyway, I thought that would be a fun one because you could do it either scrappy or you could do it with larger skeins and you could change the colour or do stripes. Again, one of those projects where you can kind of have a bit of creativity about what you want to do. But what I'm wearing, I should probably just say, not a 3 skein project, but this is the ranunculus everywhere. You will have seen it. This is in our DK alpaca merino in the colourway Wildberry, and I love it. Maureen knitted it for me and I just love it. So this pattern is so clever. I'll probably be talking about it in lots of YouTube videos, but you can knit it all the way from lace up to, I think it's worsted or Aran white. And it's the same needle size no matter what base you're doing, the same meterage, so it is so easy to work out. So I think this took 5 balls, which is good. I think you could do it longer, you could do longer sleeves. I've got one that's a summer top, but really lovely. But that's just what I'm wearing because I know that it'll probably come up, but I really love the colourway. This is in our Studio IY, which is on the website. So the next one, which is a garment, because I was quite conscious that I didn't want all the patterns to be accessories. I think a lot more people are knitting garments with hand-dyed yarn. I think at the beginning it is a bit scary, you know, because it's a bit more of an investment. But this was just an idea because I'm just double checking. This is the Alpine Bloom by Caitlin Hunter. And I've actually had some customers knit this. Really, really gorgeous. But the contrast colour, which is the colour work area, only uses a small amount, as in you should be able to get it out of 2 skeins. I think I have to actually read. Here we go. Contract 1 skein you should be able to get it out of, stroke 2 depending on what size. So if you have that 1 skein from a yarn club or anything, mystery bag, could be anything, that's a really lovely sweater, and then you can just pair it with a solid. But I thought it's really lovely, the colour work, and it's just trying to think of different ways to use those sort of either single skeins or sort of trios of skeins in a garment, because you could, if you've seen some of the colour work, it's like a fade, so I thought you could do that with the yarn club. On to the next one. This is another garment. This is the Extra Light Bright by Wool and Pine. I thought this was really lovely because this concept is to have a fade of your garment. So this is perfect for using up. This is again 4-ply, perfect for using up those skeins in if you have a yarn club or just in your stash or a yarn box. And it's all, it says like you can be as creative as you want. So you can see some fade from dark to light, some fade from light to dark, some are full long sleeve sweaters, some are little tees. So it's a really lovely pattern, and I thought it's knitting, I should note, but I thought it was a quite nice texture as well. So that is why I included that one, and it'd be really perfect for the different bases that we carry. And then on to a throw. So this is probably more if you have 3 skeins or more, but I thought the Helen, is it by Helen Stewart? Let me just check. It is. I had to check my notes. The Habitation Throw by Helen Stewart, which was released in 2019 and has over 3,000 people have knitted it. So I think it is a firm favourite, but perfect. It's obviously written for Advent Calendar. I'm pretty sure it's written for minis. I'm just checking. But yeah, it uses 10 grams of minis, but basically you could do it in any 4-ply yarn. So if you wanted to do it in your yarn club or your boxes that we launch, or just anything in your stash, I thought it was a really lovely and quite nice to have a sort of throw blanket. And I really liked the pattern. I might contemplate making that. Another one that I'd like to make, just to add, you know, to the list. Maybe I should do a video of that, all the things I want to make. I see these videos where they say all the things I want to make in 2026, but I have so many things. I think I should do all the things I want to make in the next 5 years, 10 years maybe. But this is a crochet blanket. So this is the Imagination quilt. And this, I thought this was so pretty. Again, you can use it with minis, but I thought you could also use it with big skeins, because instead of maybe having so many colours, if you had like 3 or 4 colours, you could then divide those colours depending on, you can also see a sample here, but depending on what block you're working on for crochet, be a bit more cohesive, the look. But I really liked that, and I was trying to find some sort of crochet alternatives, because I know finding crochet projects can be a little bit more challenging sometimes. But on that note, because I did have quite a few crochet, we have the, just finding out who it's by, this is all in my Ravelry bundle, the healing shawl. This is crochet, again, fingering weight, and this is a really lovely, you'll see a picture here, a really lovely large shawl, which could be good for scrappy yarn, but could be good for if you have 3 skeins, because there's 2 different sizes, because it's designed for an advent, but it's 12 days or 25 days, and the 12 days, for example, would be enough for 3 100-gram skeins. So you could do it like that, like a colour fade. It's quite difficult with 3 skeins because not a lot of patterns are written. If there are, please let me know, because I'm obviously not an expert. But it's quite difficult finding patterns that are specifically for 3 skeins. The person who does it really, really well, and I'll give him full credit, is Stephen West. When you go on, it is very clear, you know, you need 3 skeins, you need this. So, but again, most of those are shawls. But I will be sharing one of his in a minute, and I do have a few more. But I think it's like, if you find something that's doing an advent calendar, it's about looking at the meterage and how you could use your yarn and being creative. So you could take those 3 skeins. These are not these are all 4-ply, but for example, say you had 3 like this, you could then have a striped effect going along that crochet shawl I just showed you. So that's sort of the inspiration that I'm thinking, what you could do with your 3 skeins. I hope that makes sense. But it's quite difficult finding specific 3 skein patterns. But talking of Stephen West, this is the Fibre Fest shawl, which I will put on the screen. I thought this was really lovely. So these colourways here are obviously not mine, but just to show you. So he very clearly labels it all out, which I love. Sorry, I'm looking down because I'm reading my iPad with all the notes. So this uses, and I love it, it's like colour A, 366 metres, colour B, 347, and colour C, 329. So you will know that if you have 3 4-ply skeins, fingering weight skeins, that are roughly 400 metres each, you will have enough for this pattern. So that's obviously something a bit more complex, but I thought that'd be really pretty, because the idea with the yarn club, with the yarn boxes, they'll all work together, but they're different, the yarns. So I really liked that one. And if you're wanting something maybe not so detailed, something a bit easier, I found this one. This is actually only launched last year, and I hadn't come across this designer before, but this is the Linerity. I've butchered how to say that. This is where dyslexia does not help when you're trying to understand pattern names. I'm going to put it on the screen because I'm not sure. I think it's a made-up name, but honestly, you should see me trying to help my son with his phonics, because I never learnt phonics at school. And being dyslexic and doing phonics do not go hand in hand. He's 5 and telling me that I'm doing it's not right. So, but I thought this was a really lovely pattern. Put it here. This uses 3 skeins. I'm triple checking. Yes, it will use 3 skeins because the maximum meterage is 197 metres. And if you again go on the rule of 400 metres per skein, that's 1200 metres you'll have. So, and again, she writes it colour A, B and C. So I thought that was really good. And you could do it with the yarn boxes that we'll have launching throughout the year, or anything in your stash. But I really liked this. It was sort of a bit more modern, and the shape I liked, and I liked the linear lines. So I thought it was a really pretty pattern. And then garments, because try and add some more garments. This is well, I have a few to talk to you, and you have to use your imagination, because again, I'm trying to just think how you can use 3 different coloured skeins in a project, or 2, you know, but different colours. Not, you haven't gone and bought sweater quantities worth of yarn, but different colours. So Oh, sorry, just stretching over. I should have had these on my knee. So this is the Elton cardigan by Yohi Locatelli, which you will have seen me wear a lot. Absolutely love it. And obviously it's all dependent on your size, but this is size 4. But I thought you could take the concept of having striped garments and using different coloured skeins, because this doesn't have to be the one colour. So this uses 2 skeins of a 4-ply fingering and then the 2 skeins of the lace mohair, or sorry, Surrey. I think it's 4 balls of mohair. But my point was, for the lace, sorry, for the 4-ply, you could actually do 2 different colours of 4-ply, and then you would have this stripe going across your Elton, which I thought would be really pretty. So that was one idea for a way to use different coloured skeins in garments. So I love the Elton. It also comes as a pullover and a tee now. So very versatile, as in there are different patterns. You have to buy each one. There's probably a bundle on Ravelry or a discount for if you buy all 3, but I'm not sure. But I thought that would be really lovely. So if I can show you, there you go. You can see the stripes. So I thought instead of having every other stripe the same colour, you could have sort of like a 3-colour thing going on, where you have yarn A, the mohair, yarn B, the mohair, yarn A. Hope that makes sense. But it was just me trying to think of different ways that you could use different colours of skeins. And then we also have the same concept, and this is the Rocket Tee. So this is obviously a tee version, and again, I'm pretty sure it uses 2. It does. So it uses 2 for this stripe. Again, it's the Surrey or mohair within the hand dyed. But I thought, I do think I've had some customers do this, so let me know if you've done this below. But I thought you could do, instead of having it every stripe the same, it could be alternate from one skein to the other colour. So that was another idea that I was thinking. Obviously, these are just ideas that I've thought, so they're not they're just things that I've thought, so hopefully it makes sense. But she does also do that pattern as the pullover, which I thought was really nice. So if you had more yarn, for example, if you had a yarn club or you had some yarn boxes with some extra yarn, she does a really lovely like striped sweater, which I thought would be really pretty, because that's another way of using your, if you are thinking of how to use your sort of 3, 4, 5 skeins, however many you've got. Back to a crochet one. This is brand new for this year, January 2026. This is, again, 4-ply. Most of these are 4-ply because typically a lot of the yarn boxes, yarn clubs I sell are 4-ply. So that's why I've made this video, 4-ply fingering. I say both because in the UK, and I think in Europe, most people call it 4-ply, but in America, they call it fingering weight. So that's just to not confuse anyone. This is a crochet pattern, and again, it's been designed, I can't even say that word, specifically. You're getting all my dyslexic traits coming out in this video now. But this has been designed to use with is it a whirl? I feel like I know, I can't remember the name of it. You know, when you have a cake that has all the different colours in it. Oh, that's going to frustrate me. What is it called? But you know what I mean. But I thought you could do this with 3 skeins as like a fade. So I'll put the image here, because I did originally think it was actually done on 3 skeins. But I think it's been done one of those. Remember, you can still probably buy them, but they're like a whirl of different colours. So maybe you have one of those in your stash. But I thought you could do it with 3 skeins, which would be really lovely as a sort of gentle fade. Talking of fades, the next one we have is a very well-known Andrea Mowry. It's got over 4,000 patterns. People have made it, 4,000 projects. Is the Free Your Fade shawl. So this is, I'll put an image here. And again, very clearly written, colour A, colour B, colour C, and 400 of each. So I was trying to find patterns like that. So again, if you order the yarn box, or if you just have 3 skeins at home, that is an idea that you could make with your 3 skeins. Just seeing what else, if I've missed anything out. I think there's one more to talk about, which is something a bit different. This is the Tegna by Caitlin Hunter, and it's a sort of summer top. But the reason I put it in was I saw in the Ravelry photo someone had actually done it with different coloured skeins, so I thought it was quite pretty. So this, it's obviously dependent on your size. I think if you go up sizes you might need 4 skeins, but I just thought I would put it in because we're obviously used to seeing things as a solid, but then I thought it was quite pretty to see it, which I'll put an image here. I'm looking at the screen so I can see what I'm actually talking about, but I thought it was quite pretty that you could do it with a fade. So I'll just double check. I think that is everything. Hopefully that has been some inspiration to you. And if you like this video and have any comments, please do comment below. I am going to try and keep making content where it's helpful and useful. So do let me know if there's anything you'd really like to see. I'll obviously be having podcasts of what I'm making and things like that. But I know that some people had asked for some of these videos. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a brilliant rest of your day. And if you could subscribe and share it with anyone that you think would enjoy this type of video, I'd be so grateful. Thank you so much.